we're having an accidental day at sea with Disney Cruise Line.
Hey there, Mam Fam. It is our last day aboard the Disney Magic, and it is our Nassau day.
Now, we don't often get off the ship here at Nassau, but we'd actually booked an excursion.
And we're pretty excited about it.
And then, prior to our cruise, checked the weather, and it was supposed to be an 80% chance of rain and storms all day in Nassau. So in keeping with the Disney Cruise Line cancellation policy, where you have to cancel 3 days prior, otherwise you get charged, we went ahead and canceled it. But joke's on us, because it's beautiful outside here.
It's literally a perfect day.
And that private beach excursion we had booked would probably have been wonderful.
So we're going to hang out on the ship, and you're going to come with us, and we're going to turn this into a day at sea.
It's going to be fun, though, because we're going to try some meals we've never done before, some luxuriation, head to one of my possibly favorite lounges on all Disney Cruise Line ships, and see a movie that will probably wreck our souls. So let's go. And first up, we're headed to meet a character that neither of us have ever met aboard a Disney Cruise Line ship, and you might not expect to find them here. Hello. How are you? Yes.
Sure. Beautiful day now.
What do you do on the ship? Is there crime?
No crime. I just want to see.
Okay.
And plus, Sherry made the excuse to be in Nassau.
She's on the beach. She's smart.
Yeah, she tells her she's on a secret mission.
Oh.
But I already know what she's up to. So,
That's pretty smart.
yeah, pretty smart.
Okay.
There you go. Where's your...
Well, met King T'Challa, who I've never met any Marvel characters on a cruise ship, but it's fun that they come out. It's not very often, but they are usually part of the kids club experiences. And then a couple times a cruise, if they're on board, they will come out for anyone to do a meet and greet. And he was very funny and explained that he was here because Shuri wanted to go on a, quote, secret mission, but it was to go to the beach in the Bahamas. Also, speaking of characters, the Royal Gathering is happening right now. This is something you do need to reserve as early as you can. When you're booking Disney Cruise Line activities, it's based on your Castaway Club membership. And again, if you get a travel agent, like our wonderful ones at Be Our Guest Vacations, they can book it for you. It's completely free, but it is a timed entry meet and greet that allows you to meet like 4 princesses, bang, 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 bang. So if you've got anyone that wants to meet princesses, highly recommend.
Lumiere's is one of the rotational dining options here on the Magic, and it also offers breakfast. And it's a nice option if you want to have a sit-down breakfast that isn't something that you're going to get like quick service at Cabanas or a fancier brunch at Palo. Looking about the restaurant, you can see that there are a number of nods to Beauty and the Beast, given the name being Lumiere's, of course. There's a mural on the back wall that shows a whole cast of Beauty and the Beast characters, and my personal favorite feature is if you look up at some of the chandeliers in the restaurant, you will see there being the enchanted rose inside of them, and taking a close look, you can see that some of the petals have fallen to the base of the light fixture. The menu is divided into a couple of different sections. First, you have chilled out, which, as the name suggests, is going to be some of the colder dishes, like smoked salmon and yogurt parfaits. The next section is for children of all ages. Now, this is something that is of keen interest to me because I am nothing but a big kid, and these are some dishes that are more whimsical in their design. Next up, you have fresh from the griddle. Now, these are pancakes, waffles, and then following that section down, you also have eggs. So you can get eggs of any variety. Then you have hot cereals, make your own omelet section, and then their specialty breakfast. These are large plates that have been designed for this menu. Things like the DCL Express and the very, very French toast. You can also get a couple of additions to add on the side of your meals. Those are things like a half-grilled tomato, hash browns, bacon, sausage, etc.
As with any good brunch, I started with 3 different beverages because it's a lifestyle to be a 3-drink goblin. First, you must have 1 to caffeinate, which is of course delicious coffee. It's Joffrey's blend and it's fantastic even served black. Then you have to have 1 to hydrate, which is water, boring, but necessary according to Alan. And finally, luxuriate. Had a glass of Prosecco to kick off the morning. Of course, you could do mimosas with different juices, but personally, this is the perfect way to enjoy a mimosa. Just Prosecco.
To start, we shared the fruit plate and the meat and cheese plate. The fruit plate was composed of sliced mango, papaya, melon, strawberries, and blueberries. I have to say, all the fruit was surprisingly fresh, very, very tasty. I really enjoyed it, and I wish I had more.
The meat and cheese plate included sliced rosemary ham, soppressa sausage, mortadella, Edam cheese, and brie. This was actually quite lovely. I really liked the brie and the Edam cheese. It tasted like there was a smoked Gouda there as well. I wish it had come with some kind of cracker situation, but I guess I should have just ordered some toast. Overall, a nice little charcuterie to start.
For my meal, I had a choose-your-own adventure. It was 2 fresh eggs that were cooked fried over medium, and on the side I asked for a half-grilled tomato and some turkey sausages. This was a fine meal. It's kind of what you could expect from like a country breakfast at a Cracker Barrel, sans biscuits and gravy. The eggs were cooked very well, the half-grilled tomato was nice and grilled well, and the turkey sausage was totally fine. I think the only thing that I would say is that I definitely needed to add some salt and pepper and hot sauce to this meal, but it was a good breakfast that set me up for the day.
And I went for the Southern hash. This is 2 eggs of your choice, which I went over easy, over hash brown potatoes, chorizo sausage, cilantro, green onions, and peppers with melted jack cheese. This was fine. I'm going to echo Alan's sentiment that it definitely needed some salt and pepper and hot sauce because it was a little bland. Thought by having chorizo it would be a little bit spicier, but it wasn't. The chorizo itself was a little bit dry, but it did have good flavor and added a bit of heat. I think my main issue was it was a ton of potatoes and big chunks of onions, as opposed to a little bit finer dicing and a little bit better mixture so you could get everything in one bite easily. This was fine, but next time I'd probably do what Alan did and do a create your own breakfast adventure. What I would order again, however, was the peanut butter and jelly typhoon. We ordered this to split off the children of all ages section of the menu. This was a large pancake with a peanut butter swirl, drizzled with red jelly, and served with fresh fruit.
The pancake was incredibly fluffy and absolutely coated in peanut butter and jelly. It went together so very well. You did not need syrup. You did not need butter. I think that this dish was perfect as is, and it came with fruit on the side to sort of freshen things up. Overall, I really enjoyed this pancake. Okay, so that was our breakfast at Lumiere's.
That's the first time I've ever done the sit-down breakfast on a Disney cruise line.
Same.
Because normally we hit cabanas or Palo or room service.
Yeah. I think all in all, that is a nice alternative if you want a sit-down restaurant and don't want to go up to cabanas and grab a bite to eat or have room service sent to the room.
The food was fine. It wasn't anything exceptional like Palo, but I do think if you're looking for like a little bit nicer of a breakfast, a little bit fancier of a feel, but you have a group that's not all adults, this is a good option.
And now, it's time to luxuriate.
I already started.
All right, so we came up to the adult pool section to try to find a spot to chill and hang out for just a bit, maybe grab a beverage. This is also where they have some of these sports courts if you want to ball out, you know, circa Chad and Troy from High School Musical. We live in their glory days. You can do that here as well if you wish. It also looks like they are...
Sorry, I just want to point out that I like that when you give suggestions of basketball players, I appreciate that you give Chad and Troy.
Molly, I know our audience.
No, those are about the only basketball players I can name too, so I appreciate that.
Also, I do like that they are testing the lifeboats. Often if you hang out on the ship during a port day, you will hear the crew going through some of their drills and activities. Today was no different, and we got to actually see them testing out some of the lifeboats.
An interesting fun fact about these lifeboats is the fact that they're yellow. Now, prior to Disney Cruise Line, all of the lifeboats had to be orange in color. And Disney was trying to design the cruise ships after their aesthetic, Mickey's aesthetic specifically. And Mickey doesn't wear orange, but Mickey does wear bright yellow in his shoes. So Disney Cruise Line had to prove that yellow would be just as efficient as orange if needed to be seen from a distance. And they were able to prove that. So now any ship can use yellow if they'd like for their lifeboats.
What an interesting fun fact that you've just shared about color that I've only ever heard now for the first time.
Prior to Disney, all lifeboats had to be bright orange, but that didn't match the Disney aesthetic, and they wanted to be the iconic yellow color of Mickey's shoes.
Is there perhaps any other interesting facts about color that have to do with the Disney cruise ships?
You know what, Alan? I'm so glad you asked. You may think that the Disney Cruise Line ships are black in color, again, going with the aesthetic of Mickey Mouse. You might think that they are black, red, and yellow because that's the colors of Mickey and his classic costume. But black is not able to be used on cruise ships because black is reserved for the bad kind of pirates. That's usually the color they will use. So in order to still make it look like it's Mickey's outfit and that it's black, it's actually a very, very dark shade of navy. And a bonus fun fact, it's actually called Monica Blue because there was an Imagineer wearing a sweater of this same color. Her name was Monica, and by looking at her sweater, they solved their problems.
How neat. I've never heard these before.
Fun fact, the ship is not black. You actually can't paint ships black because that's the color the pirates use. Now, a little fun factoid, you may think that the ship is black because that is Mickey's colors because the style of the ships mimic Mickey's iconic outfit, but it can't be black.
Well, it is fairly busy here in the adult section because not a lot of folks are getting off at Nassau. So the only two seats we could find were at Signals, and when the server came by and asked what we wanted, it would have been rude to not order something. I mean, you get it, right? So we did. We ordered 2 beverages. I myself picked up the Kentucky Sour, and Molly picked up the Ciroc Colada.
The Ciroc Colada is traditionally made with Ciroc pineapple vodka, coconut water, and lime juice. But I don't love the flavor of pineapple, so I asked for just regular Ciroc vodka, not flavored. But I'm hoping it's still tropical and refreshing because of the coconut water. So, cheers. Oh, wow. That is so refreshing. That is a perfect poolside beverage. I've said it before, I'll say it a million more times. I don't like sickly sweet drinks, and a lot of tropical beverages are really sweet because they're juice-based. That's not for me, but this still tastes like vacation. I love the refreshing coconut water in it, but it's also not sweet, so this is like perfect for the environment.
And I picked up the Kentucky Sour. Not normally something that I'd go for, but I didn't think that a old-fashioned or a gin and tonic necessarily fit the mood right now or the vibe, but I still wanted a whiskey-based beverage. Here we go. Ooh, I was hit first with the bourbon, and then the sweetness of the sour mix came in. I think if I order another one of these, or if I were to order another one, I would have asked for less of the sour, just because it's sort of like sweet on the back end. As it is, this is distinctly tropical for the setting that we're in, and I'm going to enjoy it. Also, as a pro tip, we learned that Signals does happy hours on breakfast beverages until noon. So that would be Bloody Marys, mimosas, and screwdrivers. So if those 3 interest you, Signals is the place to be.
Also, a little cruise line fun fact. Anytime you see nautical flags at Disney, they probably mean something. They're a very fun Easter egg. And last time we were here, we looked up these 3, and it's DCL for Disney Cruise Line. And then last night at Pirate Night, we noticed there were nautical flags on the sign above the Pirates in the Caribbean on the big jumbo screen. And the nautical flags actually spelled out Mickey. If you were a pirate, what would your pirate name be? All the pirates last night had alliteration. Like Donnie the Blue.
Alan Avast.
Alan Avast.
Are you?
Molly Makey walk the plank. Enjoyed some relaxation on the pool deck, and now we are headed into the ultimate in luxuriation on Disney Cruise Line, the Rainforest Room at Senses Spa and Salon. Now, Senses is a full spa and salon. You can get manicures, pedicures, massages, facials, all kinds of treatments here. But my personal favorite thing, the Rainforest Room. Now, the Rainforest Room is a special room full of just ultimate in relaxation. I'm talking different showers that have different temperatures, mists, smells, lighting effects. There's also a variety of saunas, as well as my favorite thing, the heated chairs. They're these tile chairs that have a small heat going, and oh my gosh, I literally take a nap in them as often as I can on a Disney cruise ship. Now, on the Disney Magic for our 3-day cruise, the length of stay pass is $69, meaning you can visit as much as you'd like over the entirety of the cruise. They also offer day passes. Now, these could sell out, and we were told they often do on the sea day, so make sure you get there early. A day pass is $34. The only thing I'll say about the Magic's Rainforest Room compared to some of the others we've been, like on the Dream and the Wish, is that there's no outdoor portion. Those Rainforest Rooms actually have whirlpools and things outside. The Magic's is all indoors, but it is still just luxurious.
Still whispering.
It's the atmosphere. It's the vibes. But why is it supposed to be this? It's the best.
right after a little bit of luxuriation in the Rainforest Room, we're headed to pick up a quick bite to eat here on deck. Now, there are 3 different spots you can stop by. 1, you have Pinocchio's Pizzeria, which has, as the name would suggest, pizza. 2, you have Donald's Duck-In Diner. Now, there's where you can get the world-famous Disney Cruise Line chicken tenders, as well as one of Molly's favorites, the Drawer Burgers. They also have specials today. Today, the special looks like it's a spicy chicken burger, and you can also nab a gyro if you would like. And then lastly, they have Daisy's Delights. This is for your lighter bites like sandwiches and salads. So we're gonna grab a couple of items and then meet you back. All right, so we have our late lunch haul, which is really just an ode to chicken. We have here a chicken Caesar wrap with a side of watermelon. This is an interesting sort of like create your own bowl spicy chicken ramen situation that I'm going to try. I mean, you already know what it is. This is a chicken tender situation. And here they had a spicy chicken burger that I have chosen to do a little bit of an upgrade with some lettuce and buffalo sauce, that incredible garlic aioli on the side, and some sambal. All right, Malls, what are you digging into first?
Well, I definitely ate some fries and garlic aioli because I am part of the aioli good, mayonnaise bad camp. And now I'm going to do the chicken Caesar wrap. It's a perfectly acceptable chicken Caesar wrap. Caesar salad is one of my favorite foods. It's very saucy. The dressing is very heavy. I mean, it's nothing super exciting, but I do like grabbing a little bit lighter options from Daisy's from time to time.
You know, I saw that there was ramen listed here, and I felt like I had to try it. Do I think this is going to be the same as the virgin ramen? Probably not, but I'm going to try it anyway. Let's dig in. This is chicken noodle soup. That's what that is. The chicken is fine, it's boiled. The broth is lightly salted. It's not like super deep and flavorful. I'm glad that I added the cilantro and the spring onion. This is okay. I don't need to order this again. In fact, I'm probably going to be enjoying the spicy chicken burger. And here she is. Let's dig in. You know, I'm going to be sticking with the regular burger. I think this is, again, akin to more like a Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich situation. The clear difference here is that this isn't super dry, but it is spicy. It's not gonna like blow the top of your head off or anything, but it's sort of spicier than I would have anticipated. It's fine. I mean, it's just sort of a fine chicken sandwich, and if that's what you're looking for, this will fit the bill.
And of course, the Disney Cruise Line's finest treat, the chicken tender. Now, I do like that they have the garlic aioli at Duck-In Diner and the sambal. I don't know who the provider is on Disney Cruise Line for the tenders. I don't know why they're so good. They just are. Now, none of this food that you're going to get on the pool deck here is going to blow you away, except for the tenders. But there's pretty good classics. I personally prefer it to Cabanas for lunch because I know what I'm getting, and it's most likely chicken tenders and a drawer burger, and they're going to hit exactly how I want them to.
Also on the pool deck, you have Frozone treats where you can get juice and go, iced tea, Dole Whip, and also pick up an adult beverage if you so wish. This is not included with the price of your cruise, but it is a nice thing to know you have access to, should you wish to purchase it. And then you also have ice cream. This is where you can pick up some soft serve and is currently hosting a variety of flavors that now they typically have vanilla and chocolate available, and there is one rotating flavor. Yesterday that was strawberry. Today it looks to be blueberry ice cream. Molly misses strawberry, but she will probably be getting a swirl, I'm imagining, of vanilla and chocolate. Here is Molly looking rather sad with her swirl of chocolate and vanilla.
I mean, I didn't have my favorite flavor, but I'm not going to not get soft serve. Like, I'm not a monster. Hi, Chip. How are you? Good to see you. Hi, Dale. I love your sailor hats and your sailor outfits. Did you make those? You did? All by yourself? Oh my gosh, you are so talented. Have you guys been having fun on the ship? Swimming? Gotten lots of snacks? Oh, did you build a sandcastle? Oh, good for you guys. Can we take a picture? Okay.
Okay, we've met Chip and Dale.
They're so cute.
They're freaking adorable. And now we are going to head back to our room to change and get ready for the evening's activities, which are less...
They're dry.
Yeah, that.
We are not dry. No. So we'll see you in a second.
Yep.
Arriving back into our room on the final day of our sailing, we have found this letter to us explaining how the added gratuities work. We prepaid for our gratuities, and they've gone ahead and added those charges to each day for our stay and put them represented here on this sheet. We tear out each of these pages, place them in the corresponding envelopes, make sure they're labeled, and hand them off to the corresponding folks who have helped us out throughout our sailing. Now, you absolutely do not have to prepay for your gratuities. They will still give you the envelopes in which to fill out and add any gratuities you wish if you'd like to pay in cash, or you can pay it to the card on your account and add that there. But we like to prepay for gratuities just because it's easier for us. You will also see luggage tags that you can attach to any bags you would like to be taken off the ship. Please attach these to whatever bags you want to be taken and have those bags outside your room by 10 o'clock so that it can be taken. Or if you're like us and just want to walk off the ship, you can walk off a little bit earlier. Walk-off is usually at 7 a.m. for us. They estimate tomorrow it'll be at 7:30 a.m. You'll have to carry all your bags with you, just so you know. All that said, it is typically faster to walk off because if you do attach those luggage tags, you'll have to wait until the corresponding group is called before you can disembark. All right, all changed and ready to hit the movies.
Now, normally, again, we would be going to see one of the Broadway-style shows. Tonight, it's Twice Charmed, which is like a twist on the Cinderella story.
Basically, it's Cinderella 3, A Twist in Time.
Which you're intimately familiar with.
I am. I've seen the movie more than I want to have.
But we're doing something a little bit different. One of the other perks of sailing on Disney Cruise Line is they have a movie theater where they show movies throughout the voyages, and they often show movies that are brand new in theaters. And right now, they're showing Inside Out 2, which came out like 3 days ago to theaters.
And I'm super excited to just feel all the feelings.
I'm not gonna lie to you, we were watching Inside Out 1 while getting ready.
A little catch up.
And I was crying a lot. I forgot how devastating the Bing Bong scene was. I haven't seen it in a minute, so this is going to go well. Now, they do sell popcorn, sodas, and some candy outside of the theater at a little cart, but as a pro tip, learned from what we're not doing, you can bring your own stuff. So if you have a cup that you want to go refill at the top deck with soda or water or something, you can bring that and not have to pay for it. Also, they do sell refillable popcorn buckets on Disney Cruise Line. They're $9, and the refills are $1.75, and you can refill them here as well as at the theater for the stage shows.
Well, that was an emotional whirlwind.
Literally. No spoilies, but I'm glad the Pixar people are on the good side because they're evil geniuses.
Yeah. Imagine if they were on the bad side.
If their powers were to be used for evil, we're all doomed. They are
geniuses.
So smart. And what a wonderful film about such an important topic.
Want to go eat?
So badly.
Well, after a quick change, we are ready for Palo. This is the signature adults-only restaurant aboard the Disney Cruise Line.
It is quite possibly my favorite restaurant on planet Earth, and we actually didn't have this booked for this cruise because we were like, oh, we'll do more of the rotational dining. And then if you watched our day one of this cruise video, you know we did the Primo Notte wine and food pairing, and we were like, man, the food is so good, we got to come back another night. So we are skipping the Rapunzel dining tonight, which I actually do think is very good, and you can go watch a different magic review for that. So I do recommend it, especially if you've got Tangled lovers in your family. But as a lover of cheese and wine and pasta and pizza, nothing sounds better than ending a cruise with Palo.
I agree. We're ending it with a bang. So without any further ado, let's get in there.
Let's get in there. Let's go. But wait, I have one more thing
to
say.
Yeah.
Like always, we're not going to be recording our dining reviews as we are actually eating at Palo, just because, again, it is a very nice signature experience, and we don't want to disturb the guests around us. So we're going to take notes and take video of all of our food and turn it over to future Molly and Alan.
But one thing I will say is that Palo does require a reservation, so make sure you are able to snag one before you get on the ship or the dining crew on board when you first step on board. If you are unable to get a reservation, maybe one has come open. 2, there is a dress code, so please dress nice. If this for men, that's collared shirts, button-downs, slacks, or jeans. Ladies, Molly, I'll turn it over to you.
Dresses, dress slacks, blouse, generally speaking, no athletic wear, no swimsuits, avoid sandals, and this are like strappy, nice dress sandals, ladies. You know what I'm talking about. Generally speaking, zhuzh yourself, look a little more presentable, and they do send a text message to remind you of that. They are strict about the dress code here. Palo is an Italian restaurant themed to Venice. In fact, Palo means pole in Italian, which references the pole gondoliers use to stroll down the canal. You're actually going to see the pole design in some of the columns throughout the restaurant. The light fixture up above is designed to look like the flowing water, and it's made out of Venetian glass in the most popular colors of Venetian glass. There's beautiful tile work throughout the restaurant, and the lanterns placed around are designed to look like the ones gondoliers would use on their gondolas. Now, the menu at Palo, you have two different options at dinner. You can do a prix-fixe menu for $50 per person, where you get to select from a limited selection 4 different courses. Or you can purchase everything a la carte. Note this is different from brunch, which is a flat fee for as much as you'd enjoy. After placing our order, we were given an amuse-bouche, a little something to get started from the chef. This was the famous Palo potato gnocchi, fried with a porcini mushroom sauce and Parmesan that had been aged for 24 months. This was a perfect bite. Their potato gnocchi is absolutely perfect. It's like a potatoey pillow just melting in your mouth. I'm a huge mushroom fan, so I loved that earthy mushroom broken up by the nutty Parmesan cheese. I could have eaten a whole bowl of these.
And then we had our bread service. This was a variety of breads, including my favorite, which is a pan bread that was topped with garlic and Parmesan. This was served with olive oil that had been aged and created from an award-winning chef in Italy, alongside some balsamic vinegar that it itself was aged over 8 years. I'm not one to wax poetic about bread service, but this one is totally worth it. The variety helped complement the meal later on down the road. The olive oil and balsamic vinegar had that complementary flavor set of the acidic balsamic vinegar and the rich olive flavor alongside the fresh-made bread. This is just delicious. I loved it.
Now, we try to review different dishes every time we come to Palo, but I couldn't resist a favorite right here. This is the baby arugula salad. It is topped with virgin olive oil, white balsamic vinegar, and Parmesan cheese. It is phenomenal. I love the earthiness of the arugula broken up with that nutty Parmesan, big, huge flakes of that. And then you've got the white balsamic, which is not quite as acidic as regular balsamic to me. This is a great light bite because you've got a lot of heavy stuff coming.
Speaking of all that heavy stuff soon to arrive, next up we had a pizza. This was prosciutto di Parma, basil, and burrata. It was phenomenal. There was a whole ball of burrata cheese on this pizza, y'all, along with individual pieces of prosciutto that just sat amongst each slice. And somehow, the dough was light, it was crisp, it was chewy. I just don't understand how the chefs at Palo make this pizza so phenomenally every single time, especially while they're on the ocean. It's just mind-blowing to me. This pizza was fresh. It wasn't too heavy, even though you had a bunch of the burrata cheese and the prosciutto. It was a phenomenal harmony of flavors. And in all honesty, my new favorite pizza at Palo.
Now on to the main courses. I decided to try a vegetarian option to mix things up, and I got the grilled portobello mushroom. It was served with sautéed spinach, polenta, a roasted shallot sauce, balsamic vinegar, and a Parmesan crisp. Now, do I love meat? Yes. But do I love mushrooms? Also, yes. This was hearty. It was flavorful. The polenta in particular was perfect. It was creamy and dreamy, and I loved that Parmesan crisp on the outside. It wasn't as crispy as I thought it would be, but it kind of tore off, and then I added a bite of everything all together. Now, would I pick this over a steak in future visits? Probably not. But if you are a vegetarian going to Palo, know that they have put care and thought into this delicious dish.
And for me, I wanted to try the pappardelle, and I'm super sorry about how I pronounce that. That is grilled lobster, pappardelle pasta, leeks, salmon caviar, truffle oil, and a tarragon cream sauce. This dish was incredible. Let me preface all this. I'm not normally the biggest fan of lobster. In fact, there's only one other lobster dish that I've had in recent memory that I will go back to and want to eat again. But now this is the second. The lobster was cooked perfectly. It was light, very flavorful, seasoned incredibly well. The pasta cooked perfectly, al dente, and the sauce itself was so very rich. This is a heavy dish, to be sure, but it is full of flavor. It's very robust. The truffle flavor sneaking through that sort of briny sea flavor of the lobster throughout the dish. I love this and would 100% order it again.
Now, I couldn't help but notice there were 2 different potato dishes on the sides menu, so I asked our wonderful server Victor which one I should get, and he suggested the fried Yukon potato. These were basically like very thick cut fries stacked in like a little log cabin pattern, and they were coated in rosemary, Parmesan, gorgonzola, and lava salt. These were very tasty. Now, we'd already eaten a lot of food, so it's a very heavy side as compared to some of the others I enjoy, like the asparagus, but I loved how crispy the outsides were. I loved the cheese accents, and these are a great addition if you're also a potato fan. And finally, it was time for dessert. I went for the vanilla bean panna cotta. It was served with strawberry basil sorbet, which is made in-house, raspberry jelly, and a milk crumble. I'm not always a panna cotta person because of the texture, but this was lovely. It was nice and smooth and creamy, but the real star of the show here is that strawberry basil sorbet. I could have eaten a whole bowl of just that. I loved the freshness of the basil and the non-artificial flavor. They clearly used real strawberries in this. Honestly, as someone who's not always the biggest fan of desserts, this is a very good and delicious dish. But not as good as Alan's, who had one of the best desserts I've ever had.
And what I got was the amaretto souffle with espresso gelato and a vanilla sauce. Now, in the past, I have gotten the chocolate souffle, and Palo is known for their signature souffles. And as you all know, I'm a chocolate lover, but the amaretto souffle absolutely knocked it out of the park. It had that light almond flavor coming from the amaretto. The espresso gelato was absolutely to die for. A light flavor of chocolate on an ice cream that should normally be rich, but was light on the tongue and helped complement and offset the rich souffle. And then the vanilla sauce that sort of soaked into the souffle itself, helping add a lot of moisture to it. This was a perfect dessert dish, and one that I think has now supplanted every other favorite I've ever had in the past. This now sits at the top.
And finally, as a thank you from the team, they were giving out a limoncello sorbet that was topped with sparkling wine and apple brandy, blended together to be a nice sippable frozen treat. Now, I don't think I could drink a whole cocktail of this, but this small amount is a perfect, fresh way to end your delicious meal. Now, one thing I will say about this visit to Palo, it was fantastic as always. Tried a bunch of new dishes. Some I maybe wouldn't order again over other favorites, but some definite new favorites, such as that burrata pizza, and honestly cannot recommend Palo for brunch or dinner enough when you're on a Disney cruise.
Well, Palo was delicious. You just heard about it from Future Us.
I mean, it's always amazing, and we tried some new to us dishes, always trying to mix up what we're trying and reviewing, and we've been sleeping on that burrata and prosciutto pizza. I mean, I think
a whole ball of burrata.
I think one tear came to my eye and just slowly dripped down my face when I saw it. It was
I can confirm that.
Delightful as always, and incredible service as always. I can't hype Palo up enough. Brunch or dinner, it's the best.
But now we're going to get changed because we are headed to one final celebration.
We have 2 more things on our checklist before this cruise is over, and the first involves some friends. Boop!
Hello again.
We are in the lobby now for the kind of goodbye entertainment moment of a Disney Cruise Line sailing. On this cruise, it's called the Till We Meet Again show, but sometimes it's called the Sail a Wave. Sometimes it's kind of called the Last Goodbye. That one's that's sad. Anyway, this is a cute little show where a bunch of the characters are going to come out and wave and do a final, thanks for sailing with us moment, but what they don't actually advertise is it's also a character palooza, meaning all of the characters are going to come out and scatter and do very quick meet and greet moments. This is not the time for PhotoPass. They're not there. This is not the time to have them sign autograph books and have long conversations with them, but if you want to, jump in and take a quick picture or two,
this is the time for that.
Who are you planning to meet? So we've met on this cruise. We met Mickey on the island. We met Captain Minnie. We met Chip and Dale, Goofy.
We have not seen ducks. I'd like to see ducks.
Ducks, so maybe a duck.
If we have pirates who are out and about, I'd love to see the pirate. Those are my priorities. Pluto. Yeah, got to give him a scritch.
We'll see how many we can meet.
All right, so we're waiting for the show to start, and as a pro tip for that, make sure to get here early so you have yourself a spot. But we couldn't help but notice as we were sort of perusing the murals here on the walls of the atrium, and I'm seeing a whole host of characters performing a variety of different roles. For example, Mickey seems to be emceeing. Pluto's
hosting karaoke night, I think.
It must be, or trivia. Pluto is wearing a life preserver as a collar.
Is Goofy the captain? Does that feel smart?
Or the navigator? Either way, not great. Clarabelle's got a shake weight.
I would go to exercise classes if Clarabelle Cow was the fitness instructor, I will say.
Yeah, Daisy's doing housekeeping next to Pete, who is a server?
Is that Pete?
That's
I guess
Pete.
it's Pete, and he's the server. I wouldn't trust food served by him, but okay.
I would trust food cooked by Minnie Mouse, though.
Yes,
That's
of
what she's
course.
doing. And Donald just sort of has a rope.
He's just hanging on a rope, I guess.
Hanging around. You may have missed opportunity there, Malls. Hanging around.
He's ducking out.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, we're going to wait for the Palooza to begin. Wow, Malls. Way to crush it there.
You look fabulous as always.
Oh my goodness, that's so kind of me to say. Of course.
All right,
Thanks,
happy
Rise up here,
birthday.
y'all.
Oh, fierce.
Hello, Captain Hook, how are you?
Oh, he's there.
Good to hear it. It's all right.
Amazing.
Pirate Night could have gone better, but I
Good to see you. Oh, we're matching. Yes, stripes. Very in, very in.
we are 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Shall we? Ready? All right, here we are. 1, 2, and 3.
Starboard side. Hello, everybody.
Now's the time to say goodbye to all our company. Oh gosh! LIC. See ya real soon. KEY. Why? Because we like you.
That's such a cute and kind way to end the cruise experience.
And we did get to meet both ducks, Captain Hook, and some of the theater performers, including the woman who sang Circle of Life.
I think the fact that they bring out the theater performers where they can to this farewell is so incredibly important and impactful because they do such a wonderful job to provide that entertainment. I think it's great that they're included.
Also great is when they did their little farewell song, they did the Mickey Mouse Club, Now It's Time to Say Goodbye song. All of the characters and performers did sign language, and it was like such a sweet, sweet way to end the show and the cruise. And I got teary, and I'm teary again because, of course.
What a beautiful way to include everybody.
And what a great note to end the cruise on, except for that's not the final note of our cruise. We have one more spot to go to. And once you see it, you'll understand that the note thing I was saying was actually a very hilarious pun.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say we got one more song to sing.
Yeah, my soul didn't feel that one.
That's good. That's
Cats.
good. That one, a little bit less so. I mean, honest.
It's going to be a perfect end to the cruise.
If Molly's incredibly deep and poignant puns didn't really give it all away, we are headed to the Soulcat Lounge for our final nightcap here on the Disney Magic. Now, the Soulcat Lounge is one of my personal favorite lounges here on the Disney Magic just because of all of the detail that's included here and frankly following the story of Soul, which I really love. So I'm excited to come here and we get to show some of the fun secrets of the Soulcat Lounge.
All right, we got some amazing performers in here. They'll have different musicians and jazz singers and such throughout the adventure, but a couple of details, Easter eggs from the movie Soul. For starters, right here next to the stage, you've got Joe Gardner's hat and blue jacket. On the top of the bar, you're going to see some instruments as well as a photo of Dorothea Williams, his jazz idol from the movie. And then over in the center here, you're going to see some more instruments and then a clay figurine of 22. As you look throughout the carpet in the lounge as well, you're going to see that there are the piano keys as well as other instruments. And then all the artwork on the wall is inspired by the art style of the film. And they don't list any artist names except Dorothea Williams. And then if you take a look at the menu, there's a few more Easter eggs. For starters, this top drink right here is called Custom Tailoring and Alterations. It's when they do tableside martinis and Manhattans, altered and tailored to fit your soul. That's a reference to Joe Gardner's mother, who is a tailor and has a very notable role in the film. And then you've also got the half note smoked old fashioned. The half note is the jazz club from the movie.
Another fun little thing that appears is on one of the screens here with the jazz trumpets, there will be a sequence where the cat appears and follows a laser pointer, you know, as cats do, and jumps up and pulls down the screen back to showcase the Jazz Trumpets album and album cover, which is a fun nod because that is the cat that Joe possesses in the movie Soul. Okay, we have just had our tailor-made cocktails prepared for us. Now, you can customize them if you so wish, but we had the New York-inspired Manhattan, complete with a very specific New York Manhattan rye and a very unique Antica vermouth. We're having an excellent time vibing to the music here, but let's give this a taste.
That has whiskey in it.
That's really, really smooth. Not nearly as
punch you in the mouth spicy as I'd expect a rye to be. I think that's because of the vermouth.
Yeah. The vermouth is a very unique flavor. Normally I associate vermouth with being very bitter and
This is more floral.
yeah, this is flowery and it's aromatic because they put the perfume of the bitters on the top too.
So it's still very much a rye whiskey,
And there was a lot poured in here.
but it's not gonna punch you in the mouth. I like this.
I don't like it as much as an old fashioned, which is my favorite drink, but it is very delicious and I love the setup in here. So this is a very fun lounge and I think a great spot for our final drink aboard this cruise on the Magic.
I agree. Well, that brings us to the end of another fabulous trip aboard the Magic. And while I know that we went on this cruise specifically to see Disney's Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point.
TM,
Nice.
probably.
Yeah, probably a TM to that. What did you think of the cruise overall?
First of all, talking about Lookout Key, like Alan said, that was the main driver of booking this cruise. Of course, our full review with very specific feedback and highlights are on that video, so check that out if you haven't already.
Day 2.
But overall, I really enjoyed going to Lookout Key. I think it has the makings of being a very wonderful destination. I really appreciate the nature and cultural aspects of the not island.
Island, not a section of island?
Yeah, I think there were some improvements compared to Castaway, and then there are also things that definitely need to be improved.
And hopefully are already being improved upon.
Yeah, fingers crossed. So I think it's a great new destination, and especially when it is completely finalized with like all the foliage in bloom and like everything all done. I definitely think worth a visit.
In regards to the Magic specifically, it is one of the smaller ships in the fleet. So when you go to those private destinations, it's going to feel like those areas are a bit larger because there are fewer people actually going to those spaces. So that's always a nice plus.
Yeah, Lookout Key was built to accommodate like 4,000 guests, and at capacity, this can fit like 2,700. So it's gonna feel like you got an island to yourself.
And boy, did it. I mean, we took a right-hand turn and there was nobody there.
Private beach. One thing I will say in regards to the Magic size is that the smaller the ship, the more you're going to feel the waves and the rocking of the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
I think this was the most I've ever felt a ship move. I don't know if we were going super fast. I would also say we were in a forward room, and if you want to avoid feeling the rocking as much as possible, you want to be in a midship room in a middle level. Try to avoid being forward, aft, or super high, but just keep in mind if you're worried about motion sickness, it is more likely to happen on a smaller ship. One thing, of course, to love about Disney Cruise Line is the entertainment, and I really think they've got some great shows aboard the Disney Magic. In particular, I really do like the Tangled musical as well as Disney Dreams. Those are both well worth a visit if you're aboard the Magic, and I love that they show Disney movies on cruise ships. I guess I'm happy I got to cry my way through Inside Out too.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to confront a lot of how my emotional state of being is in a very real way in watching how things play out. No spoilers. Boy, did that not cause me real jarring emotional pain.
It could have been worse. We could have been on a cruise when like Guardians of the Galaxy 3 came out or something. So
You stop that. No. Anyway, the last thing that I want to mention about the Magic specifically is the food that we have. I think that Animator's Palette on this ship is the best iteration of Animator's Palette across.
I think it's on the Wonder too.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So then whatever exists on the Magic and possibly on the Wonder, the best iteration of Animator's Palette just because of watching it go from black and white to full color
Did you
with
like
the
that?
animation.
When it went from black and white to full color.
Wow. What have I done? What have I...
I just think it's funny for you to point out the beautiful colors. I agree with you, it's the better iteration compared to the Turtle Talk version, but
color as a concept needs no working vision.
it is the best version, you're right. The Turtle Talk version is on the Dream and Fantasy. The Fantasia Mickey version is on the Wonder of the Magic. The food's the same everywhere, though. You can get persets all over the place.
Anyway, the Tangled dining experience is also really, really nice. I enjoy that one particularly for how they approach the show. I think on the Disney Wish, Ma and I have both expressed that we don't necessarily love the way the Frozen show is set up just because some of the areas seem to have sort of like dead zones for actually viewing the show.
Whereas the Tangled show here, when we've done that in the past, you can go back and watch those videos. They do a really great job of showcasing not only the characters, but also the overall experience and sharing with everybody in the room. And the food, not bad either. And Lumiere's is, I think, sort of like the generic dining location that you have on every Disney ship. It's, as Molly said, fine.
Also fine is like Cabanas, but Cabanas is basically the same on the Magic, the Wonder, the Dream, and the Fantasy. And you really don't bump up in food till you get to the Wish.
Yeah, when you have the Festival of Foods...
Feastival, still working on that.
Was waiting on that one. I think that's the biggest upgrade that you can get on a Disney cruise ship, because here you have Pinocchio's Pizzeria, you have Donald's Duck and Diner, and then of course you have Daisy's Delights. Those are also okay, aside from Donald's Duck and Diner, which has chicken tenders and...
drawer burgers.
Nice, you nailed it.
And garlic aioli. So a step
That's
up.
new, though.
A
That's
step
new.
up in the chicken tender game. One more thing about the Disney Magic, I do like the size of the adult area. It's definitely bigger than the adult pool deck on the Disney Wish. I think it's probably a little bit smaller than the pool deck area on the Dream or the Fantasy.
Co-signed.
And there are more lounges on those ships as well. But if you are an adult going on a cruise ship and you're looking to see what your deck space is going to be like, you're going to actually get a fair amount of room on the Disney Magic. And as always, as wonderful as the entertainment, the food, the characters, the not island has been, none of it is possible without the amazing cast and crew that make Disney Cruise Line so special.
Couldn't agree more.
Thank you to all the crew that's been on the Disney Magic, but in Mammoth Club tradition, we have a couple special shout outs to some crew members and cast members that made our trip extra special this time.
First and foremost, I want to give a massive shout out to Natalia, who was an incredible bartender at Keys Lounge.
Also, big shout out to Adi. He was our room steward. He's responsible for all of the beautiful towel animals and controlling the chaos that is me anytime I enter a room, no matter how hard I try.
It's true. Your suitcase looks like it throws up on a room. I also want to give a huge shout out to Victor, who was our server while we were at Palo. What an incredible resource and wealth of knowledge. Thank you so much.
I actually want to echo that and say the entire team at Palo, both at our dinner tonight and at Prima Notte, the sommelier, the chefs, we actually got to chat for a moment with the pizza chef.
Crushed it.
The whole team there is so wonderful. So thank you to everyone at Palo. And lastly, a big thank you to Yasa. He was our server at the rotational dining, and he was wonderful and played games with everybody at the table. So big thank you to him as well.
Also took care of my allergy. Very, very attentive to that. And I always have a soft spot in my heart for anybody who makes sure I don't die. That's super helpful.
That is very nice. And we've said it before, we'll say it again. Disney Cruise Line cast members are the epitome of service. They are the creme de la creme, and they truly go above and beyond to make your cruises magical, which is why I've already put a placeholder down so we can sail again and again.
They truly are the pixie dust, as Sorcerer Mickey reminds us at Animator's Palette.
It was too much.
Overall, the Magic is a small but mighty ship. It is not my favorite in the fleet, but I can certainly understand why people love it.
And, you know, we haven't been on the sister ship yet, so we don't know how that one's going to rank in our personal rankings of the Disney Cruise Line fleet. We'll have to go sometime.
Yeah, sometime. But until then, friends, please be sure to like this video, subscribe if you're new, follow us on all of our socials, and please join with the Mam Fam on Discord. Links for all that are down below.
And until next time, friends, I'm Molly.
And I'm Alan.
And it's been literally magical.
Oh my gosh, it has been. Put it up.
Now let's look at that towel animal.
Ooh. Look at that bear!
It's a bear! He definitely wants a hug.
That bear's fine to hug.
I'll bring him a picnic.
Okay.
Hold on.
Don't have a pic.
Here you go, bear.
Nick. All right, well, that's a niche joke.